I don't know. This is pessimistic, but I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. I also don't trust allies. I don't trust the people around me not to concede. And the reason why I say that is because I'm seeing a lot of fucking conceding. And so I was in a meeting recently and they sent everybody a list of words not to use in like the grant writing process. And every fucking word was specific to all of us. Yeah, all like it was like insane, y'all. Like it was like, what the fuck is happening here? Like this is everything that you and the call to action was we changed the language. Here's the alternatives. Like it was the words we that are banned, and this is the alternative. And so instead of saying black, say da 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 da. Instead of saying trans, say da 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 da. Instead of saying so it and everything was so homogenized and not specific that it's like, what the fuck is happening here?
But,
Like,
but if that's what
wait,
you
wait, wait. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
like, you gotta get your money.
What? And see, that's the thing. I think that capitalism, yes, get your money, cool, okay. But I think capitalism is the thing that makes that chinks at the armor of that chinks at the armor because it allows us to compromise for money. It allows us to compromise for compromise the specific needs of the people in order to be palatable to this. And it does not, and when you do that, it does not bring us across the board. That's number one. Number two is everybody on this panel in the past 2 years, we have been affected by this anti-trans thing. All of us are have either been in financial situations where we are um, potentially unhoused or potentially, money is money funny, gotta move, gotta do that. All of us have been in that situation. And because we have, I don't know about y'all situation, I know it's about me. Um, Sometimes it's a pride thing where you don't want to talk about your hardships. You don't want to talk about it. There's a pride thing in not want everybody to know your business and da 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 da, where you're trying to keep up, not necessarily keeping up with the Joneses, but you just don't want to tell people that you're struggling because you're trying to make it work and you don't really want to talk about it. And so, but I think eventually it's going to get to the point where we can't do that anymore. And you know what I'm saying? And we can't, this program might not exist because of if it keeps going further, if we're compromising for money further and further and further and further. I just feel like that's not always the right plan. And I feel like I don't trust people not to make the more like the higher integrity decisions when it comes to us, when it comes to compromising. I just don't think that that is, I don't trust it because people, like you just said, we got to get our money. I just think I think
So,
that's always the
okay,
excuse.
let me get this out. So it's relatively recent because the funder said this is sexy and this is what we want to fund. And that's what we want to do. To be even saying, I want money for trans people, gay people, black people, all that relatively new. You always have to kind of tiptoe around the language for grants. It's about what you're doing on the ground. I just want to put some context on that. That's relatively new. So this whole time where we can freely, openly write in a grant, this is what we want, is a blink in the eye. And it's only within the last like 15 years. So I just want to be clear that like that that's why the change feels probably bigger than it would prior to that, because we're using language and grants that are talking about how we identify and stuff in a way that has never been happened before. Like, so that's the thing. Also, the censorship shit is a real thing, but I think there are people that were grifting off of our experiences and our trauma to get money, and the funders were like, "This is sexy," and funding it. Yup, I think there's a lot of people that we might consider allies, to your point, Diamond, that's going are that we cannot trust. Yup. But I also think that for folks who've been in the work a long time and folks that's about that shit and do the grant shit, you do grant shit. Some of that shit is just grant shit. If y'all organization about that work, then you're gonna do what you got. That's what I meant by that. Because it's relative, we're in a relatively new phenomenon where people could be like, I want money for trans shit. I want money for black shit. I want money for gay shit. I want money for any of this shit. 20 years or 25 years ago, when Diamond, when we graduated high school, 2000, 2001, you had very few LGBT centers at college campuses. You had very few fucking LGBT center shit for youth. It was the early stages of gay straight alliances, Project This. So the funding mechanism, the fact that we even using this shit, like all of that is a relatively new thing, but it did not mean that people weren't getting grants before that and doing this work. Do you get what I'm saying? And still are people that later are using that language, and then people grifted off of us and grift off, you know, whatever. But I just want to be clear, like, yeah, that is true. And what is also true is that the folks that's about doing this work that were writing them grants beforehand, or the people that might have that expertise to show like how we can do this to get this money to get this work done, because white people always been racist, people always been gatekeeping. When it comes to like funders, because it's just important to keep that in mind, because people that's about doing that work gonna still do that work, and foundations that fund that kind of work are still that about it are still gonna fund that work. And really, to me, this sounds more about where you getting the money from.
I don't have faith in anybody around me. I think that everybody around me will concede for not only capitalist purposes, but also for comfort purposes. I think there's a lot of people around me who just don't give a fuck even when it comes their time to be oppressed. That they not gonna care until they are locked up in fucking El Salvador or Alligator Alcatraz or somewhere. They not gonna get it. People don't take shit serious, especially in this country. When it comes to our government really turning on us. It's a lot of people around me who are bamboozled by this idea that the government can't turn on us. I think that they think that it's
So
happened everywhere else, but it can't happen to them. And I think even now, with these bills and this discrimination against trans people, a lot of other people around me who are not trans don't give
can I
a fuck because they feel like it's not going to happen to them. Um,
okay.
the time to go is now. Diamond asked, when is the time to go? The time to go is now. It's no shade. Um, and a lot of people are going to concede again for comfort. Some people going to concede for capitalist reasons. Some people going to concede for nationalist reasons. But
Okay. Y'all. One of the questions that came up, right, that she said was, one of the things she brought up was a part of their strategy is to get us to focus more on the shit that's gonna bring demise versus focus on building, fighting back, doing that work. A part of the strategy is for us, because a part of the strategy, right, with the propaganda and the algorithm is to overwhelm, make people feel like shit is bigger than it really is. It is big, but it's definitely not as big as it is on the internet, because that's on purpose. It's to magnify, amplify.
I'm
That's
talking about real life. I'm not
no,
even
no, no,
talking
no.
about the internet.
I'm not saying it.
Based on
Hold
my
on,
feed, everybody is enlightened and growing and
hold
learning.
on.
But in
Please.
my real fucking life, I have one person to leave this fucking country with when it's time to go. And as
Well,
far as fighting for this country, I'm not motivated to fight for this motherfucking country.
I ain't talking
My
about
whole
fighting.
life, my the whole history of this country ain't based around protecting me or people like me. Let's roll the fuck out. Well, I don't care what nobody else do,
What
but
I'm saying is
I'm
most
on
people.
some roll the fuck out and let them be casualties of their own war.
So most people,
Deuces.
most black trans people can't go no fucking where. Black people are disproportionately on Medicare, disproportionately on fucking Medicaid, disproportionately getting fucking food stamps, all this shit that's about to get cut. Which
If you
hold
can't
on,
leave,
hold on, let
if
me
you
finish.
can't leave, that's understandable. If you're in a position where you can't leave, that's
Right.
understandable.
So then the question
I'm
is,
not rich. I'm not rich.
hold on.
I am literally disabled. I am somebody who can collect SSI whenever disability when I don't have an income, and I can get the fuck out of here.
What I'm saying is the reality is we're dealing with some bullshit and a real fucking threat. And all I'm saying is for us as black people, it's important to remember this ain't the first fucking time we dealt with this kind of shit. And the level of violence that our family members have dealt with, we're not even dealing with the same scale yet. So there's stuff we can still do that we can engage instead of focusing on these motherfuckers that don't fuck with us. We know they don't fuck with us. We know they don't fuck with us. And that's the only reason why I even bring up the shit with Roland Martin or even some of the people, Joy Reid, some of these other outlets where it's like folks that are fucking trained to do what the fuck they do and are given black press. That's how we've always kind of stayed informed. We're not in a situation, we getting our information from all over the fucking place. To me, that's one factor, but also like I give a fuck about black people. Okay? So even if I can't do all the things, we can all do something. You know what I'm saying? Because a part of the strategy is apathy. I was watching Eyes on the Prize the other day. One of the fucking things Bob Moses said in fucking 1960 something. Yeah, we got to talk to the black people down here because part of mindset, these motherfuckers don't think they can do shit. They don't think that, okay? So a part of it was like this psychological thing. Okay, a part of the shit was psychological. A part of the whole thing was segregation.
Exactly. And if you propagate the idea, if you propagate excuses for people, psychologically you are giving them a scapegoat. You propagating the idea that motherfuckers can't go is helping them to believe that they can't. If you're literally in a situation where you can't, then you know that we're not talking to you. But if you a motherfucker who's offended by the idea of getting up off your ass and getting the fuck up out of here, then you're probably somebody who's capable of doing it. And I'm not going to coach you to do it. I'm a tough love kind of bitch. No
Bro,
shade.
I'm saying, and there is stuff like as much as the shit is overwhelming, because it is overwhelming, and I can't even imagine the level of overwhelming living in a quote red state. Okay, period. Like I'm gonna be 1,000 about that. But what I do know is that there is like energy, whatever we put out is what we, you know what I'm saying? Whatever we focus on is what the fuck you focused on. Instead, there are ways we can spend, all of us, myself included, spend a little bit more energy just because it is retraining. It's built like it's flexing muscle. Like you don't have the, if you don't use it, you lose it. I think for all of us, myself included, 1,000 fucking percent, to spend more time, a little bit more time every day, and just checking out shit that where people are already doing shit and seeing how I can fucking plug in. Okay, so like when they voted on that bullshit with Charlie Kirk, my blue state people, one of them voted, some of them voted for it. Some voted. I called all the motherfuckers. I said, hey, I just want to thank you for voting against this bullshit. And I called some of these people and I said, I just want to tell you I'm pissed about it. And they're like, because they surprised somebody even fucking called them.
I just want to
You know
make
what I'm
it
saying? Just
clear.
use what you can use, plug in where you can.
I want to. It's people who think like you, Jay. It's people who think like you, and you're talking to them. I'm talking to the people who think like me. You have no allegiance to this fucking country. You don't have no reason. You don't have no reason to have to stay here and fight for a motherfucking thing. If there is an opportunity and if there is a life better for you than this country, like, yes, vote if you're going to stay here. Stay here if you want to stay here. But nobody's forcing you. And none of us is going to blame you for rolling out. This ain't even our motherfucking fight. No shade.
100. I feel that.
So fuck me using my voice to propagate and tell motherfuckers shit that we've been telling them for centuries. No, I'm not doing that shit no more, honey. Get the fuck out of here. Ain't nothing for you here. Trust me, it's a lot better existence in a lot other places, and they don't even want to put that shit on your feed because they want you to be under the guise that this is the best country in the world, and this ain't the best country in the world for niggas.
And there's places that you can drink some clean water instead of that water too. Drink that clean water while you figure it out. Shit. Diamond, what's on your mind?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I see. So I already do that stuff. I already do the call-in senators. I'm already in that vein of doing things. I guess what I'm talking about when I talk about conceding is talking about what other people conceding and not trusting um allies is I'm just seeing behind the scenes just because I have a different purview because I'm seeing people's work being decimated. I'm seeing people's livelihood be decimated. And there's a difference when you're in a privileged place where you can organize in a certain way, and then bam, I don't have the capacity to take care of where I live. I don't have the capacity to buy food. I don't have the capacity. You're because we're talking about needs, there has to be a shift in your strategy. And so that's what I mean. It's not a give up. It's not a give up. It's just that I'm contemplating different strategy because things are getting harder and less privileged. Things are getting harder and resources are becoming scarce. And so it's not I'm not in a mindset of giving up at all. It's just a mindset of what is my new strategy so where my body is safe. I have the needs that I need to have and I can be somewhere where I can still do the work, but my body is safe and my needs are taken care of. And so
Well,
and that's not necessarily leaving. It might
Mhm.
be for some people. Um,
Mhm.
but it just depends on I'm just in that gray area. I'm in that space where I'm contemplating what is my strategy going to be. And so that's where I'm at.
no, that's real.
And that's why I feel the way that I feel because it's not safe for somebody like me.
Right, and that's why they're like, "Oh, we fuck."
Right now, today, it's
Yeah,
not safe. So my strategy is still the same. Um,
I
and
think this
I'm really talking to myself when I'm saying leave now.
and I think where I'm at is I I know the impact of my mental health for me to leave this country. Not and it's not going to be positive. I am not somebody who thrives in I can go and visit, but I can feel I know if I move to the Netherlands, move to Vietnam, move to Thailand, who is affirming of trans people, move to places that are a little bit more safe. I know that that is not my culture. I fucking love black people. Black American culture is my fucking shit. And so you take me out of that, I know I'm going to be d- depressed. I know, of course, I feel like I'm going to be able to survive it, but you take me out of that culture, I know it's going to impact me in a negative way. But maybe maybe that can happen for whatever, however long I need it to be until I can figure out till we get our shit together. I don't know if we even get our shit together. I don't know how, I don't know what, but I'm just in a space where I'm looking at what countries do got what is it asylum for trans people. I know the Netherlands do. I know the Ireland do. I know, but I also know those places is kind of there's some growing conservative shit happening there. So I'm just thinking about it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm still strategizing. I'm still in community. I'm still on boards. I'm still doing the work. It's just that I feel unsafe and I don't feel secure in the way in my resources. I don't feel secure in anything in the way that I was like COVID or pre-COVID. I just don't feel secure.
And
I
and
mean, that's
you touched on a huge thing for me. I always talk about my mental health. I'm very vulnerable with y'all about my mental health journey, and that is a huge contributing factor. I had PTSD, and I don't feel safe in this country.
I
You know
just
what I mean? So it's affecting my mental health in that way. And you're absolutely right, Diamond. Stepping away from your culture, disconnected from your culture, it can lead to a depression, and it's contributed to mine. I've already been taking steps to roll out, and one of the steps that I've been taking is disconnecting from people and disconnecting from my culture. The most interaction that I have with people is online right now.
What you are experiencing as you listening to us is three trans people figuring some shit out that we just have never been in a situation. We've never been in a situation, and we're trying to figure it out. We're scared. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what the futures hold. We are organizers and adults living through this space, and of course, we have our ancestors and we have our people who have been in spaces like this. And while there are things in the past that are similar, they're not exactly the same.
no, they're not, but we
So,
can prepare
and so
because
we can, there's
everybody knows what we can do.
there's strategies in our past that our ancestors went through that they have laid a foundation for us to do work and survive things. That is absolutely true. But just like our ancestors in the past, there are different mindsets, there are different strategies, there are different ways to do things, and we are there. It can be a clash, or it can kind of be just kind of a stalemate, or it can kind of be just. It's so many ways that it could land, and that's what you're seeing here in this program, and well, seeing and listening to this program is three trans people trying to figure out while considering the past and considering the future. And so nothing is going to be totally right. Nothing is, we're working through it in real time. And we're
Yeah,
outlining what our thoughts are. That's what we're doing.
definitely. You know, hit us up. Let us know what you think. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on. It is overwhelming. It is a lot. It is fucking scary. You know what I'm saying? Period. Point fucking blank. Like, no bullshit, right? You know what I'm saying? Period. And I'm just saying, we gonna be all right. Let's love each other, love ourselves. You know what I'm saying? As we navigate through this bullshit. As my grandma used to say, shit. As we navigate through this bullshit. Let us know. Hit us up. We love y'all. Hashtag Marsha's Play. Bree, spell it for them.
Hashtag MARSHASPLATE.
The best way to support is to engage with the content. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Another way to support, if you got a couple of dollars, become a patron. And if you can't do any of that, you can at least follow us on social media, where you'll get our random hot takes and just us sharing all the people and things that we love that is black, trans, queer, centered. Yeah, come check us out.
The time has come for you to be the change you want them to be, yeah. No more running around filled with all hypocrisy, yeah. It starts from the inside, it spreads wide.